What's up, guys? I want to take this time to do something a little different. We're not introducing any gameplay. We're not introducing any cool clips. We're not introducing any tutorials. We're not no how-tos. In this video, we are introducing me. Now, for those of you who follow me, you know me as Jvstyce. I've been Jvstyce for the last 10 plus years of my life, from music, performing on stages, going on tours, from all that and switching over to gaming, really trying to dive into the streamer world. Sometimes things happen. So I've been Jvstyce, and none of you all really have gotten to meet Justin. So allow me to introduce myself. I am Justin. I am a 34-year-old veteran, a father to a 13-year-old son who's amazing, and I have a wife who takes care of anything and everything that we need. Um, we'll just dive right into it. Growing up, I'm from upstate New York. That's where I was born. I was born in Rochester. When my dad was, when I was little, my dad was in the Navy. So at 3 years old, I lived in San Diego, California. He was stationed out there. We went through it. And my mom ended up meeting a new guy, and she left my dad for him. So we ended up moving from San Diego back to Connecticut. And when we got to Connecticut, that's when things kind of changed a lot for me. He was abusive. He basically, for lack of a better word, beat the shit out of me every day. If he wasn't physically punching or smacking me, he was making me stand in front of clocks with dictionaries in my hand, making me do 500 sit-ups. Mind you, I'm 3. And I have to endure all this from the age of 3 all the way to the age of 8, when finally, some good things happen for me and I go live with my dad. But during this time, video games, comic books, it's there for me. Movies as well. In that household, I grew up playing baseball games, sports games, Madden, ESPN, The Zone, NHL, whatever I could get my hands on, I played. I also had a Nintendo, an NES, an SNES, like throughout the years. So Super Mario Brothers, Ninja Turtles, any of those classic games that we all think about, I definitely had an opportunity to have those and play those, and those helped out tremendously to get me through and away from just the mental that I had from, like I said, I was 3 years old, and I had this grown man punching me, not holding back. Um, so for five years, I had to endure that, beatings with hangers and belts and physical punches, and video games really came into play and helped me escape that reality of mine and gave me an out, and I've been hooked ever since. Those were my introductions to gaming, was Nintendo, playing Super Mario Brothers and Ninja Turtles. Then we had Super Nintendo, again, Super Mario Brothers. Countless other games that draw a blank as I'm trying to talk to you about them. Duck Hunt was a huge game for me for the Nintendo as well. Then my mom, at 8 years old, was arrested while I was asleep. So my mom, her husband, they got arrested, and we got scattered. Me, my brother, my sister, we got scattered. Me and my brother went to my aunt's. My sister went with her grandma. And from there, I went down to Florida, and I went and lived with my dad. And he knew I was going through a lot. So down there, I had a Nintendo 64 that he got for me. And that's when I fell in love with The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time. And I devoted so many hours into that game, just grinding it, finding everything, completing everything. It was the first time I ever sat down and played a game to completion. So that game holds a very special place in my heart. Just going through all that as a child, and then straight into it, boom, Now I've got this video game. I'm in a house where I'm not getting beat on. It was it was really good, you know. And then, we go through life. We growing up. I played video games uh, every step of the way. When I was in middle school, we had a video game club. I played Super Smash Brothers in that video game club. It was the thing to do. Everyone was always waiting for a seat, waiting for a turn. I dominated everyone's Pikachu. That's right. That's right. Super Smash Brothers in the 64 is Pikachu. Um, yeah. So it just it felt good to compete, to put some skills to the test, and that was my first ever competition vibe with video games. It was just at this video game club, nothing major, nothing spectacular, nothing that even mattered. It was just bragging rights at school. Um, then I've got the Dreamcast where I'm playing Sonic Adventures, Shenmue, Gauntlet Legacy, Crazy Taxi, and there's all these new games that are amazing and beautiful, and the soundtracks are better and better and better. I had the original PlayStation. I played Jet Moto, Spiral the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty that came out. I've been a Call of Duty fan the entirety of my life. I've played every Call of Duty title that's ever been made. I've been there as each game has come out. So, shooters, all that, it really stuck with me from a young age, which is most likely why, as I grew up and continued to play FPSs, continued to play, I played football in high school, I played Madden at home. I played all these FPS shooter games. I joined the military. I joined as a combat medic for the Navy, so a hospital corpsman. Um, I was trained for, requested many times to go to Afghanistan. Had a couple of opportunities to become a SEAL and then a SWIC corpsman. Um, my chain of command basically shit the bed on that for me. They wanted me for them, and they didn't want to give me up to anyone else. So, at this time, we're in California, we're in San Diego, we're still doing, you know, our thing. We're growing up, and before we get into it, it's video games. There's video games everywhere. Madden tournaments in San Diego. Um, it was the only time I feel comfortable who I am is playing video games. It's the easiest form to really let loose and let go and say, okay, here I am. Um, Otherwise, I kind of just feel like I'm hiding. I don't get to be who I am because there's this so much pressure of being a strong man, especially with the way I look. I'm 6 foot, 6'1", I'm 380 pounds. I have injuries from the military, so I look a certain way. I am, the way my dad raised me, I'm supposed to act a certain way as well. So I'm playing video games. I get out of the military. Um, I'm married. At this point. We've had our first son, our first baby, my boy, my Austin. He's been born, and still playing video games, But this time it's different. This time I'm playing video games like Uncharted, like Alice in Wonderland. Um, but I've got a wife who likes to watch me play video games, so she watches me play Uncharted. She watches me play God of War. She likes to watch the story unfold and see what's gonna happen. So now I'm starting to play Batman and Arkham, and I'm playing these single player games, these role playing games, these action adventure games, and I'm diving into this world. And once again, you have these soundtracks, and the music is beautiful, and it's great, and it's great. And then Modern Warfare 3 comes out, and I'll never forget it. I went to GameStop midnight release. They had a COD tournament, and I came in second. That was the very first ever Call of Duty tournament that I played in, and it definitely wouldn't be the last one. Um, but that was the very first one I played in, and I won a free copy of Modern Warfare 3, and that was a great, great time for me. Um, and it really just solidified that gaming will always have a place in my life. But once again, music is hitting me. It's coming from everywhere. I'm living in Florida, South Florida. I've always loved music because of movies, because of soundtracks, the video games that they've got their soundtracks. So I start dabbling and I start writing, I start working on it, and I start getting better and better. And next thing you know, I'm recording music. Now I'm rapping. Now I'm recording songs at studios. Now I'm going performing at shows. I'm going on tours in Florida, opening up for big name artists. Um, at one point, my music got so good that I was being played in 256 countries. Right? Countries, 13 countries, 256 cities in those countries. That's how it was. And it was great, but it didn't give me the sense of accomplishment that video games did. It made me feel good that I was reaching out and touching people with the music. It made me feel good that we were seeing some success. We were, like I said, the reach was great, great, but it didn't have that sense of accomplishment. And you know, I kind of lost my way after the military. You get out and you don't really know what to do. Um, no one prepares you for it. Even the military, they try, but they can't. Um, but as I'm trying to tell my story, I'm trying to follow this timeline. I'm jumping around, my brain's all muddled, and that's because of another thing that had happened. Part of the reason why I love games and I love disappearing into those worlds is because when I was in the military, I was raped. And this is the first time I've ever had the courage to talk to anyone about it, even just let it off my chest. So, I go from being a 3-year old, 4-year old, 5-year old, 6-year old, 7-year old, 8-year old, being constantly beat on by an older man, um, hands burned on stoves, thrown across rooms, like you name it, and it happened to me as a child. Um, and then I build some sort of strength inside of me, and then next thing you know, one drunken night, you pass out in a bed, and it all goes away. And I became a big guy because of that. I let myself go, then I got back into shape, and then I got injured really bad. I tore this shoulder. Uh, I've got nerve problems. It's bad stuff from when I was in and out. But for a long time, I lost who I was. I didn't know what to do. Didn't know how to compose myself in the world, and then I started playing video games again. And little by little, the video games, the music I was starting to make for real, all of that kind of worked together to kind of bring me a little bit out, little by little by little. And here we are now. I started doing music September 26, 2011. And we are now in 2023. So 12 years later, my shoulder's repaired. I can pick my arm up just like that. I'm discovering and learning more about myself. And that is one of the reasons why I am comfortable now being able to open up to y'all and tell y'all this is who I am. I am a survivor of childhood abuse. I am a rape victim and survivor, if that's what you want to call me. I'm an enthused gamer. I love music. I'll sit there and talk with you about music and video games and movies all day long. It's what I'm passionate about. I love movies. I drive my wife crazy, letting her know, oh, this actor was in this movie. This actor was in that movie. Oh yeah, look at him. I know he was in this movie. Like that's me. And music, it drives. You can feel it in your body, in your bones, in your soul, and it just progresses everything so beautifully. And so with streaming, with content, I try to take a little bit of all that and roll it up. I try to bring freestyling into the gaming while I'm gaming. I try to bring on different streams, but most importantly, I try to give a calm, peaceful place for people who are like me that might not know they're like me because I've never said it before. This is the first time I've said it. Um, but they might not know that they're like me, but now they will. And my goal is to give those people a place to have peace, vibe out, relax, let everything disappear, and just have a moment where they don't have to worry about something. And we're inclusive. Anyone can come. It's not just for people who've been through this type of trauma. Um, and as the content comes out, as we get more comfortable, we're going to talk more about things, go more in depth, and, we're going to do a lot more things. But I felt like I needed to really just say, hi, my name's Justin. I love you all. I've been through some stuff. Um, and I hope you guys liked to meet me. The end cap of the story is I'm 34. I now have my own house in North Carolina. I have my first wife. We divorced. We separated for 8 years, and now we're back together, married again. We've been married now since June of this year. We've been together this second time now for about 4 years. There's my wedding ring. It's beautiful. I love being married again. She's the love of my life. Got my 13-year-old son who's crazy and drives me crazy, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I've got a dog and a cat. I got a pool out back. I got a ride-on zero-turn lawnmower. I got a job that I work hard at, and the end of it is life can suck. Find something that you can attach yourself to that's positive, and you can make it out of the darkness into some sort of light. Um, so yeah, thanks for listening. I if you if you feel like you need a place you can go to talk to others, we have Discord. I'm on Kick. So, you ever want to just come in and chat and talk, join the Discord, vent, we're here for you. And I appreciate you taking the time to listening. Thank you.